Today, I'd like to talk about the subconscious. The subconscious is something that is often misunderstood. The idea of the subconscious first came about with Freud many years ago, and that was a revolutionary idea that he proposed, that there were neurotic tendencies and unfulfilled desires, traumatic feelings, all buried somewhere that we were not really aware of, and that these elements were primary in dictating our experience. So that idea has been carrying through the psychological world, perhaps until recently, when cognitive therapy took over, maybe a few decades ago by now. But before that, the subconscious, and especially feelings that were contained in the subconscious, were regarded as the focus point of any kind of psychological inquiry. The intent was to discover the contents of the subconscious, or as became known in popular terms, the shadow, thanks to Jung's work. Jung proposed that the shadow, the same thing as the subconscious, was where all of our negative, unfulfilled, suppressed feelings and emotions were centered, and that this shadow followed us around and interfered with the positive enjoyment of life. So that's the idea that I want to get across to you in this video today, that there is a subconscious, and that's what determines your basic emotional experience. Now, New Age philosophy, if we can call it that, has proposed in recent years that it's your thinking that determines your experience, or your beliefs that determines your experience, and that all you need to do is change your thinking or change your beliefs, and your life is going to magically transform. To those of us who have experience working in the psychological field, who know what it means to work on ourselves or to work with other people in trying to get into their darkness, we know how frankly absurd and simplistic this idea is. It's not your thinking or your beliefs, it's the suppressed energy in the subconscious, which determines your thinking or your beliefs. And it's this suppressed energy that determines your day-to-day emotional experience, how you react to experiences, and even how you attract negative experiences to you. This is something that even the Western psychological world, the humanistic Western psychological world, was a little dragging their feet on. They never really got to the point of recognizing that it's the inner trapped negativity that draws negative experiences to you. But that's where the East has come into play with its concept of karma, because we understand that there's something inside ourselves that attracts our experiences to us. In the East, they call it karma, but they don't really explain it much beyond that. It's simply explained as you did something and now that's going to happen to you. Now, that's also a simplistic explanation of a deeper metaphysical truth. But if we look at it from a psychological standpoint, it's easier to understand that we have negativity trapped in the subconscious. And here's where you have to make another assumption that comes with us into this life. And by no means are we born with a clean slate, as psychology incorrectly proposed. Again, those of us who work in the field and go deep into subconscious contents, it becomes obvious that we bring the subconscious with us into this life. That's what accounts for our childhood experiences. It's the inner negativity that starts to attract people, events, circumstances to us right from the beginning. That corresponds to that energy inside that we are, in a way, predestined to experience and to work out in this current lifetime. Now, I've heard some popular psychological authorities rant on recently about all you have to do to change the subconscious is to reprogram it with positive suggestions. And again, this is just ludicrous to anybody who has any experience working in the field. The subconscious does not respond to positive suggestion, except possibly for the most superficial behavioral kinds of suggestions. But the deeper level of the subconscious, where the deep negativity is stored, does not respond to positive suggestion. Some more sophisticated approach is needed to remedy the negative subconscious. And what that sophisticated approach does is to release the negativity that's trapped there. It's not a question of reprogramming. It's a question of releasing. And that's what we do in our work. We have a sophisticated East-West approach that's designed to release the negative subconscious, basically through experiencing it. Now, I know when you hear experience, that can start to make you feel a little hesitant, perhaps. But the way we experience is through the witness. We detach from any kind of negativity that's to be found in the subconscious. And the detaching is the first step to the authentic remedy, because normally we are identified with these feelings. We're not aware of how we are identified. But when we start to detach, step back, witness, we're starting to break the hold on the feelings. And then that gives us a very nice, easy, comfortable vantage point to experience the feelings. So we experience the feelings in the lower body, but we have shifted our awareness to what we can call the higher self witnessing perspective. And that's what enables us to release the negativity so that it's no longer hounding us, no longer dragging into our lives negative experiences, which it does in order to make itself known to us. So we start to get a handle on how to work with the negativity that's trapped within and bring it to a successful resolution.